All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, obviously, yesterday was a pretty big day as far as like overall news and rumors are concerned, specifically with the wide receiver position. George Pickens was traded. We had all this stuff coming out about Allen Lazard. Could he be on his way to Pittsburgh in a potential trade? We had Gabe Davis getting released. Lots of different wide receiver, news and bits of speculation and whatnot. But there's one name that a lot of Jets fans have been talking about, right? For not just, over the last 24, 48 hours. I'm talking for weeks. Now, things have really escalated post-draft with fan speculation with Doubs because of a couple Packers draft picks who we're going to get into it here in just a second. But we take a look at Romeo Doubs as a player, 25 years old, 3 years of experience. 2023 was his best season of his career. 674 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, 59 snags. He's always kind of been labeled as this possession type of wide receiver. Not really a ton after the catch. Not this, speed demon, Deshaun Jackson type of wide receiver. More so that possession guy. You look at where Romeo Doubs maybe shines the best. It's like moving the chains. Like Jordan Love security blanket. Third down, boom, throw it to Doubs. He's going to come down with it, give you that first down. That's really where you feel like Doubs is, where he peaks as a player. And you're taking a look, of course, at the New York Jets, and it's like, hey, we would really, really utilize a player like that. You have Garrett Wilson. He's kind of the superstar type of guy on this team, the guy who can get open, the guy who can do a lot of different things with. You brought in Arian Smith, so he's going to be the speedster down the field. And then right now, you have the Lazards, the Tyler Johnsons, the Josh Reynolds of the world kind of occupying that wide receiver 2 role. Now, could this be a situation where the Jets are like, best man's going to win? Or is it going to be maybe a 3-headed monster at the wide receiver 2 spot? Maybe someone gets hurt. We have, that instant depth there. I do think it would be pretty clear that Romeo Doubs to this Jets wide receiver room would be an instant upgrade at wide receiver 2, right? Say if news breaks in 15 minutes, the Jets are trading for Romeo Doubs. Yeah, there's going to be a plan there. He's going to be involved with the offense, and he is probably going to be that second receiver, that second look, in a lot of passing concepts with with Tanner Inkstrand here. So we have to ask the question, if Doubs is a good player, if he's a young player, if he's done some really good things with the his current team, why are we talking? Why are all these people now Steelers fans in the mix? Aaron Rodgers would like to throw to Romeo Doubs in Pittsburgh, which was the same type of report that we heard with Allen Lazard yesterday. But if we take a look at the Packers wide receiver depth chart right now, I would say things are pretty murky. They have a lot of options, and it kind of feels like, okay, you have a bunch of young players, a bunch of cheap players, a bunch of guys with high upsides. Who's going to be getting the ball? Are the Packers going to, after the Josh Jacobs year, are they going to all of a sudden change their offense into throwing it 50 times a game? No, they're not. You're looking at this Packers wide receiver room. It's just name after name after name. I mean, let's just list off the names. Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Doubs, Matt Golden, Savion Williams. In the case of Savion and Matt Golden, I mean, both of those guys are brand new rookies in the mix. I mean, we're taking a look at even like the offseason rumors too. Like they were involved, or I shouldn't say the Packers were involved, but there was rumors that the Packers were involved in a potential DK Metcalf trade. I don't know how serious that was. I don't know how true that is, but you kind of felt like Green Bay wanted to bolster up this wide receiver room. So out of all these guys, why is it that Romeo Doubs is the one specifically being talked about getting moved, not Reed or not Wicks? Why Doubs? Well, he's been unhappy in his role. That has been reported. Supposedly, he skipped a couple practices last season due to personal reasons, and he was ultimately suspended by the team. I think they labeled it as conduct detrimental to the team. Now, coming out of that suspension, it seemed like they were on good terms, but outside of that stuff, we have to factor in, again, where Romeo Doubs is in his NFL career. 3 years of experience, comes in 4th-round pick out of Nevada. This is year 4. Last year of his deal. So could the Green Bay Packers, a win now team say, hold on a sec, we have a lot of talent here at wide receiver. We have a lot of youth. even if one guy gets hurt, we have enough depth here. Let's just get out in front, add an extra draft pick. We know the Green Bay Packers love to build through the draft. They're not selling out in free agency. In essence, could we just trade someone now, get this extra draft pick, and be totally fine at wide receiver? Yeah, I think that does make a lot of sense. But of course, you can push back and say, okay, well, the Green Bay Packers are win now. Injuries happen. Look at the Detroit Lions last season, a team that Green Bay knows really, really well. Injuries ultimately is why that team couldn't go on that deep playoff run. It sucks for Detroit. It absolutely sucks. So it's always nice to have a backup plan, a plan B, in the event of a player getting hurt or a player having to miss time, right? Christian Watson has been someone who's missed a lot of time. So you don't really have to worry about the wide receiver position at all if you're the Green Bay Packers. The second big, maybe con here or reason why Doubs won't be traded, he's Love's security blanket. I feel like when Romeo Doubs is out there, he's been reliable. He's been the guy that, again, Love goes to on those critical downs, those third downs, those must-have money downs over some of these other guys. So out of the players here, trading Doubs before training camp even starts, before you even know, how some of these young guys look, what happens if Savion Williams really needs time to develop? What happens if Matt Golden isn't maybe where you thought he was early? I think if we do see a Romeo Doubs trade, unless they're blown away by an offer, it would be maybe smart of Green Bay, and this is just me being objective, it would be smart of Green Bay to hold off until at least a couple weeks into training camp to kind of get the feeling, okay, where do we stand at wide receiver with the guys that we currently have? Do we feel comfortable eliminating one of Jordan Love's weapons? If that's the case, if the answer is yes, okay, move on and trade him and add that extra piece. Now, you can also, I believe this is going to be the case. I don't have 100%, I don't know this to be a 100% fact set in stone, but I believe if the Packers just keep Romeo Doubs and they let him hit free agency at the end of the year, they don't bring him back, and he's going to go out and sign a deal, I would assume, if Doubs has a good season and the Packers want Doubs there, he's going to put up numbers. They would just be receiving a comp pick for him. So what would be, the compensation for a trade compared to the comp pick? Still up in the air. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Look, if the Jets wind up finding a way to, secure Romeo Doubs, I would be really, really pumped up. I mean, that's such a solid weapon to have for a team that is so thin at the wide receiver position. But yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.